Let me tell you about my last 5 weeks of life. I know y'all probably wondering where I've been. I got bags under my eyes, but watch the video and find out where have I been.
First you get the money, then respect, then the power and the hoes come next. Last time that I done come through fly, check, no cosign, I ain't need radio to do mine. I done fine, and I take my time, check, and take my tribe every level.
Hey guys, welcome back. I know I'm the stranger. I know it's been a minute. I know I kept saying I'm gonna put this up there, I'm gonna do this, but let me tell y'all, school started back. And I don't know if y'all remember what I told y'all I was studying in my first video, but I'm trying to get this MD, and baby, then between studying for school and working on this bigger project, I kind of just haven't had time to post random little videos. I did promise my followers that I would do a Q&A about med school, what I found out so far within my first little 5 weeks. First question that I'm gonna answer is it what I expected med school? That's a really hard question to answer because I already knew going in it was gonna be hard, rigorous. I didn't have no expectation. Like, I really didn't know what I was getting myself into. I've been out of undergrad for almost 2 years, so I think the only thing that just threw me off guard was the fact that I had to get back into the, ain't nothing even in here. I had to get back into the groove of studying and sitting in a classroom. That first week was so hard for me. I'm like nodding off and stuff because I'm not used to it. But as far as like coursework and material, it's just as hard as I thought it was, but it's definitely doable. You just have to be determined and consistent. If you're not consistent, you might as well not come to med school. Period. Next question, MCAT, how did I study? Woo child. Okay, so I had been studying for the MCAT for about 2 years total, to be very honest. Well, longer than that, maybe 3. That test honestly scared the crap out of me. I honestly could have been halfway through med school if I would have just taken it when I was supposed to my last year of undergrad. But of course you're scared. I'm gonna actually make a separate MCAT video, so I don't want to say too much, but specifically I was asked, did I self-study or did I take a prep program? I actually did both. I took the Kaplan prep program. That was for 8 weeks, about 8 weeks. It was $2,000. Yes, you heard me right, $2,000. But it was definitely worth the money. I had my own life complications at the moment, so I didn't honestly pay as much attention as I would have liked. I feel like I didn't get my money's worth, but that was my personal issue. When I make my separate MCAT video, I'll go way into deeper detail. Study tips for med school. I'm still learning myself. Let me just say that. But in my 5 weeks so far, there's a few things that I feel like are just like so important to your success. The first one is you can't do it alone. I'm sorry, you cannot do it alone. Find you a good little group of no more than about 4 or 5 people. Even 5 is a bit much, but find you a good group. You need, I'm not gonna say opinions, but you need every type of thought process. You need every type of individual to, you know what I'm saying, spark things that you wouldn't think about. You don't have to study with them all the time, and you can go home and reread over things yourself, but get a nice group so that you guys can quiz each other, teach each other on subjects, because sometimes you're not always gonna like how your teacher teaches, but one person might understand and can teach it, and then you take a subject, or maybe you all can pick a subject and teach it that way. You know, teaching environment to where, okay, I don't understand this subject, but you understand it. Can you relay it to me in terms to where I can understand? That's why I like groups. I can follow along in class all day and understand, but do not, and I repeat, do not go home, go to sleep, take a nap, and think you got it the next day. You need to recall, practice. Repetition is key. I promise you, You probably are as smart as you think, but if you don't repeat it, it's so many little details that can be missed in the way questions are asked. You will not do well on your exams, and you won't know the material like you think. You have to repeat it. When I say recall, the first thing I would suggest is to write it out. Make sure you can write it, and then make sure you can teach it yourself without looking, without writing it down, or write it as you go and talk it out. As long as you're able to, number one, write it without your notes and speak it without your notes, that's a good sign. You're good to go. Another tip is practice questions. Med school is not all conceptual. Sometimes it's literally about your test taking skills and the way the question is being asked. You have to know the concept so well that you're able to answer whatever type of question is being asked from it. So I don't know if this is going to show very well. You can get like a whiteboard, or excuse my messy bed, you can see it's barely made up, whatever. I don't have a whiteboard. My whiteboard is at home. I'm at school right now, but you know the little mirrors from Walmart? I just take literally a dry erase board and a dry erase marker, and I write all my stuff on here. It's stuff on here right now. That's a good way to recall. When you're at school, you can use the board, or take it old school with a piece of paper, as long as you are recalling. Another study tip I would say is, don't write so much. This is why a whiteboard or mirror is good, because you can erase it and try again, erase and try again. Too many papers, that's too much. Because be honest, you can write a whole bunch, and I know some people are just readers, but reading through so many notes, sometimes you don't have enough time. You are so crunched for time. Every minute counts in med school. So with that being said, keep your notes to a minimum. So what one of my professors told me, she literally said, in class, just listen. Make sure you understand, just listen. Then from the book, from the notes, from the PowerPoint, and rewrite it in your own words. Then you recall on the board or on a mirror, like I showed you before, and then do practice questions. Once I start getting between 70 and 100% on my practice questions, I move on to the next subject, because I would love to do perfect on every subject, and I'm not saying you can't, and I'm not saying don't go for it, but don't waste all your time on one subject, because you have so many others. Like literally every moment is precious. It's basically like this. Would you rather have a 100 but a 50 in all other subjects, or would you rather have a 70, 80 in every subject because you're giving them all equal time? That was all the questions I had, so pretty quick video. I've missed you guys. I'm gonna try and upload some more small videos. Bear with me, I'm in school. I'm trying to be a doctor. I'm trying to save lives out here.